Hello students, today I am going to start class 10th chemistry and the name of the chapter is acids, bases, salts. So in this chapter we already completed two sessions. First session is about acids and second session is about bases. So today I am going to start the next concept of your chapter, that is salts. So, before going to discuss about the salts, we need to understand what are the salts and what type of the ions will be existing in the salts. See here, some definitions are given. The definition of the salt is, a salt is any chemical compound formed from an acid when hydrogen ions, it means H plus ions from the acid has been replaced by metal ions or another positive ions. For example, each and every salt compound have cation is a positively charged ion and anion is a negatively charged ion. For example, if I take NaCl, what is this NaCl? Sodium chloride. Sodium, in that sodium is positively charged ion and chlorine is a negatively charged ion. Means sodium is the positively charged ion here and chlorine is the negatively charged ion. So each and every salt has two ions. So first one is a cation. The positively charged ions are called as a cations and negatively charged ions are called as a anions, right? So a salt is any compound when it is dissolves, or the compound formed from the acid when hydrogen ions from the acid has been replaced by metals. The hydrogen is replaced by the replacement of the metals, whether the metals it may be sodium or magnesium, whatever it may be, it should be replaced by the metals. And one more definition is there, a salt is a compound formed by the reaction of an acid with a base in which the hydrogen and acid is replaced by metal. So this is also one of the example of salts. So see the next slide, we are having some more information about the salts. Just see this one. A salt is formed when an acid is neutralizes base. You already know the neutralization reaction. In neutralization reaction, what happens when acid is combined with a base? It always forms a salt and water, right? So this is the most important reaction. With the help of this reaction, we can easily understand how we are going to be prepare the acids, or how we are going to be prepare the salts with the help of acids and bases. Once we are combining directly acid and base, we will get a salt and water as a product, right? So later we will discuss about the preparation of the salts, how we are going to be prepare the salts, on what basis we are going to be prepare the salts. So salt is formed when an acid is neutralized by a base. A salt contains two parts. We already discussed in the previous slide only. So salt contains two parts. Metal parts. Metal part is usually cation. Comes from the base. So metals are usually cations. For example, what we consider in the last slide, NaCl, right? So NaCl, in that Na is a positively charged ion. Non-metals are the second part ions. Second part ions are obviously anions. Anions are come from the acidic substances. Okay, for example, take here one example. With the help of this example, you can easily understand. HCl plus NaOH. What is this? HCl is nothing but acid, right? HCl is the hydrochloric acid, which is nothing but acid, and sodium hydroxide, NaOH is nothing but a base. What happens here, when these two are combined together, it will form a sodium chloride NaCl plus H2O. What you will get the product here? According to your neutralization reaction, you will get the, when we are adding acid and base, we get salt and water here. NaCl, sodium chloride, is a salt and one more is a water. What happens here? Just observe this reaction. Here sodium will be replaces the hydrogen. Sodium will be replaces the hydrogen ion in acidic substances. And one more thing, sodium is replaced means, so first part of the salt is metal part from comes from the, here you already know, metal part is comes from base. So sodium hydroxide, in that we are taking sodium, so metal part it comes from the base, and non-metal part comes from the acidic part. So metal parts are usually cations, it means positively charged ions, and non-metal parts are anions, it means negatively charged ions. Here chlorine is already negatively charged ion and sodium is a positively charged ion. See some examples related to the salts. First one, when sodium hydroxide, okay, see some examples are given here. Sodium hydroxide, when it is treated with the acid solution like a sodium chloride, it forms a sodium chloride. When sodium hydroxide treated with the hydrochloric acid, it forms a sodium chloride. Second one, potassium hydroxide, when it is treated with the hydrochloric acid, it forms a potassium chloride. Third one, sodium hydroxide, when it is treated with a sulfuric acid H2SO4, it forms a sodium sulfate. Fourth one, potassium hydroxide, when it is treated with sulfuric acid, it forms a potassium sulfate. Next one is calcium hydroxide. When calcium hydroxide it is treated with nitric acid, it forms a calcium nitrate. Ammonia solution, when it is treated with nitric acid, it forms a ammonium nitrate. So these are the some of the examples for salts. Next one, formation of salts. How we are going to be form a salts, or what are the bases, or what are the types we are going to salts, what are the methods we are going to use to prepare the salts. See here, first one, formation of salts. These are also known as neutralization reaction. So the neutralization reaction, we obviously add acids and bases, we get a salt and water. That type of the reactions we call it as a neutralization reaction. The salts are produced by neutralizing acids. Neutralizing acids. First one, acids and carbonates. When acids and carbonates are combined together, it forms a salt and carbon dioxide and water. These things were already discussed in the first session in acidic section, right? So see the general form. The general form of the reaction is, when acid is combined with the carbonates, it always form a salt, right? Salt along with the carbon dioxide and water. So these are the two more extra product we are obtaining from the combination of acids and carbonates. Some examples are given here. When HCl, hydrochloric acid, is combined with the calcium carbonate, what it forms? Calcium chloride. Calcium chloride is one type of the salt. Next one is water along with the carbon dioxide. Similarly, when calcium carbonate combined with the hydrogen, it forms a what it forms? Calcium ions along with the water and carbon dioxide. So these are the examples for the first type of the formation of the salts. So see the next type, that is methods of the preparation. In that we are going to prepare the salts with the help of the by adding acids and bases. Action of acids on insoluble bases. Insoluble bases means soluble bases are alkalis, insoluble bases are other than alkalis, right? So when acids are combined with the base, when acids combined with the base, it forms a salt and water. This method is used for bases which are insoluble in water. For example, copper. When copper is combined with the sulfate, when copper is combined with the sulfuric acid, it forms a copper sulfate along with the water. Example is given here. See the statement of the example. Example of a salt prepared by this method: copper sulfate from copper oxide and sulfuric acid. When copper oxide is combined with copper oxide, it combines with the sulfuric acid. What it forms? Copper sulfate along with the water. Next one, when zinc oxide combined with hydrochloric acid HCl, it forms a zinc chloride along with the water. So this is also one type of the example for the preparation of salts with the help of acids and bases. See here, one more same slide is there. The general form of the reaction is when acid is combined with a base, it forms a salt and water. For examples, when HCl is combined with the CaO, calcium oxide, it forms a calcium chloride along with the water, right? So this is also one of the example for the same type of the reactions. Next one, alkalis. When acids and alkalis are combined, alkalis means what? We already learnt in the previous classes. No, alkalis are the substances, basic substances which are completely soluble in water. So general form of the reaction is when acid is combined with the alkalis, it forms a salt and water. When acid is combined with the alkalis, it forms a salt and water. For example, hydrogen chloride. When hydrogen chloride is combined with the NaOH, it forms a sodium chloride along with the water. When hydrogen is combined with the hydroxides, it forms a water, right? So here NaCl, sodium chloride, is a one type of the salt. By the combination of this H and OH, we get a water as a one more product. This is not a one more extra term. By the combination of one positive ion and one negative ion from the two compounds, we get a water, and remaining two ions we get a salt. Okay. Next one, same type of the reaction. This is also when acid is combined with the alkalis, it forms a salt and water. This process is called neutralization. To carry out the neutralization of acid and alkalis, exactly a method is called titration is used. So with the help of the titration method, we can easily form a salts. The salts listed in table 1 can be prepared by the titration method. Last slide we already discussed this type of the examples for salts. So what we have discussed in the previous slide, no, that is the table 1. See the next one, action of acid on metals. How the salts will be prepared along with the help of metals and acids. When acid is combined with a metal, it also produces a salt and hydrogen gas will be get liberated. For example, sulfuric acid on zinc. When sulfuric acid combined with a zinc, it forms a zinc sulfate along with the hydrogen gas. Similarly, hydrochloric acid on magnesium. It means when hydrochloric acid is combined with a magnesium or treated with a magnesium, it forms a magnesium chloride along with the hydrogen. One special note is given here: only metals like magnesium, keep it in your mind, magnesium, zinc and iron, with the help of these three metals only metals like magnesium, zinc and iron are suitable. Metals like sodium, potassium and calcium are explosive with the acids, while metals like lead and copper are unreactive with the acids. So when we are going to be prepare the salts with the help of the acids and metals, we need to consider magnesium, zinc and iron only, because they are usually form the salts in normal conditions. Instead of these, if we are using potassium, sodium or calcium, they are highly explosive, that will be dangerous for our health as well as atmosphere. And remaining some of the metals like copper and lead, these are purely unreactive with the acids, which cannot shows any reaction with acids. So these are the some of the types. With the help of these types we can easily prepare the salts. We are having so many types to prepare the salts. In that we are discussing the preparation of salt with the metals, acids and bases, acids and alkalis and carbonates also. Okay, see the next slide. Some characteristics of salts. So what are the characteristics involving in the salt? See one by one. These are the some extra information about the salts. First one, water of crystallization. Water of crystallization. This can be defined as the definite amount of water that some substances chemically combined with the when they form salt, and such salts are referred to as hydrated salts. When heated, they give off their respective water of crystallization, and by some doing becomes anhydrous salts. So just keep it in your minds. First one is it salts are forms the crystallization. Crystallization means solid structures, like okay, like sugar crystals are there, no, like that structures we are going to be observed. Second one, crystalline shape. When hydrated, they are crystalline in shape, but when heated and the water of the crystallization is released, there is loss of the crystalline shape. For example of salt with the water of crystallization are sodium trisulfate, sodium trioxosulfate, dehydrated. Second one, iron tetraoxide sulfate, heptahydrates. So these are the some examples only, it forms a crystals. Okay, so this one is not for your syllabus, just you need to understand what type of the crystals will be formed, or what type of the compounds will form a crystals with in salts. Okay, See the next one, second type of the characteristics of salts, that is efflorescence. So this is the loss of this is the loss of proton or all of the water of crystallization from a crystalline salt when exposed to atmosphere to form a lower. Dehydrates are the anhydrous salts. Okay, so efflorescence means dehydrated or anhydrous salts. So examples are given here: calcium chlorides, right? Next one is a washing soda. Washing soda is also one type of the efflorescence salts. Third one, deliquescence. This phenomena in which a substance absorb moisture. This phenomena is in which a substance absorbs a moisture water from the atmosphere when exposed and turn into. Some of the examples are given here: calcium chloride, ferric chloride, copper chloride, zinc chloride. So these are the some of the examples. Next one, fourth characteristic is hygroscopic. This is the phenomena in which a substance absorbs moisture or water from the atmosphere when exposed and does not turn into solution. Examples: sodium trioxonitrate, potassium trioxonitrate, sulfuric acids. Hygroscopic substances are commonly employed as drying agents or desiccants. Drying agents are desiccants. So these are the some of the characteristics of salts. See, some more information is given about the drying agents or desiccants. Let's see that one. Drying agents or desiccants are the substances that have strong tendency to absorb moisture or water. They are used to dry gases in the laboratories. A drying agent cannot be used if it reacts with the substances to be dried. That is why H2SO4 cannot be used to dry ammonia gas, because they will react to form ammonium tetraoxosulfates. So characteristics are that much not important for your syllabus. So just you need to concentrate the definition of salts and types of the salts and some uses of the salts. Okay, see the next one, types of salts. Again, we are having so many types of the salts. We are going to be classify the salts on the basis of different categories, but just you need to understand some of the types of the salts here. Okay, let's see one by one. There are 5 main types of salts. These are only 5 main types. We are having so many types of the salts. We can classify the salts on the basis of different categories also. They are normal salt, acidic salt, basic salt, double salt and complex salts. Just you need to concentrate on these things: normal salt, acid salt and basic salts, right? So see the first one, normal salts. Normal salts formed when all the replaceable hydrogen ions in the acid have been completed replaced by metallic ions. What happens in normal salt? Normal salts are the salts that does not contain any replaceable hydrogen atom or hydroxyl group is called as a normal salts. For example, calcium sulfate, sodium phosphate, potassium phosphates. Okay, so these are the some of the examples for natural or normal salts. In normal salts, if we are taking one more example like sodium sulfate obtained in the reaction between H2SO4 and NaOH. This is a normal salt because it is formed by the complete replacement of both hydrogen atoms of H2SO4. See here some of the examples given. H2SO4 and zinc oxide. What happens in the reaction? Sulfuric acid H2SO4. That sulfuric acid react with a zinc oxide. The zinc will be completely replaces in the hydrogen place, and it will form a water along with the zinc sulfate. Similarly, HCl, when it is combined with the sodium hydroxide, it forms a sodium chloride along with the water. So these are the some examples for normal salts. Second one, acid salts. Acid salts are formed when the replaceable hydrogen ion in acid are only partially replaced by a metal and are acidic to litmus paper. For example, H2SO4. When H2SO4 is react with a sodium hydroxide, it forms a sodium hydrosulfate along with the water, NaHSO4. So these are the examples for acidic salts and normal salts. Now see the next type of the salts, that is basic salts. Basic salts. So what do you mean by basic salts? Basic salts are formed when there is an insufficient acid to neutralize a base, that is calcium hydroxide combined with the HCl. It forms a calcium chloride along with the water. Here hydroxylics, it means OH ions are replaces, right? Next one is a zinc hydroxide along with the HCl. What it forms? Zinc chloride and water. So here hydroxyls are completely replaceable with the one hydrogen ion of the acids. Fourth one, double salts. So double salts and one more types, these are not important for our examination point of view. Double salts ionizes to produce three different type of the ions in solution. Usually two of these are positively charged while the other one is negatively charged. Example, potash alum or aluminium potassium tetraoxosulfate, deodehydrated. So this is the formula of the compound potash alum or aluminium potassium tetraoxosulfate decahydrates. Next one, see the fifth type. This is also not important for your examination. Complex salts. Complex salts ionizes in water to form complex ions. Example, sodium tetrahydro oxide oxozincate, potassium hexacyanoferrate. Okay, these are the examples for complex salts. Just you need to understand three types. The first three types are very important for your examination point of view. The first one is normal salts, second one is acid salts, and third one is basic salts. So these are the very important for your examination point of view. Next one, hydrolysis of salts. Hydrolysis of salts. What do you mean by hydrolysis? See the hydrolysis. When salt is dissolved in water, a solution which is either acidic or basis is formed. Whenever we are dissolving the salts in water, either it will form a acidic solution or basic solution. This reaction of salt with water to form acid or basic solutions is known as a hydrolysis. However, when other salts are dissolved in water solution that are not neutral are formed. These solutions may be either be acidic or alkaline. So hydrolysis means what? When salts are dissolved in water, a solution which is either acidic or basic is formed. The reaction of the salt with the water to form acidic or basic solutions are known as a hydrolysis. Whenever we are dissolving the salts, it will form obviously one type of the solution, whether it may be acidic solution or basic solution. If it forms any type of the solution, means that type of the solutions we are going to be consider as a hydrolysis. See here, some more information is given about the hydrolysis. Hydrolysis, the solution of salt of strong acid and a weak base will be acidic, while a salt of weak acid and strong base will be alkaline. So what happens here? Just read the statement given once. The solution of salt, strong acid and weak base will be acidic. When we are dissolving strong acids and weak bases, it will form us acidic substances. It means acidic in the solution. The nature of the solution is purely acidic, while salts of weak and strong bases, weak acids and strong bases are dissolved in water, it will form a alkalines. It means alkalines are nothing but a basic solutions. Okay, here some examples are given. Look at these examples. Okay, ammonium chloride along with the water. When we dissolve ammonium chloride in water, it forms the ammonium hydroxide along with the HCl. Copper sulfate, when we dissolve in water, it forms a copper hydroxide and H2SO4. Okay, so these are the some of the examples. Remaining two examples are here. So these are the some examples for hydrolysis. Next one, salts of uses of the salts are, what are the main purpose of salt? Why the salts are important in our day-to-day life? See the first one, we are having different kind of the salts, whether it may be sodium chloride or sodium carbonate or sodium bicarbonate, potassium nitrate, copper sulfate, potassium alums. So these are the some of the salts we are using in our day-to-day lives. Okay, so first one is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is used as a flavoring and preserving of food. Natural development of color in ham barrier ham. And next one, third one is carrier of iodines. These are the best carriers of iodine to produce other chemicals, chlorines and sodium hydroxides, used in metal cleaners, plastics, water treatments. For metallurgy and photography also we are using sodium chlorides. Next one, to melt ice. What kind of the salt we are going to use to melt the ice? Sodium chlorides. Next one, regulation of body fluids, medicines for livestock and natural gases. So sodium chloride is one of the most important salt that one we are using as a essential requirement of our food. Second one in the preservation of food. Third one in curing fishes and meats. Next one in making a freezing mixture which is used by ice cream vendors. And last one use of the sodium chloride is in the manufacturing of soaps. Also we are using sodium chlorides. See the next one, sodium carbonate. This is the second type salt. Second one, salt. The sodium carbonates are used in the manufacturing of papers, paints and textile industries. It is also used in the manufacturing of soaps and glasses and sodium hydroxide. It is used in the process of water softening. And next one, it means we are removing the hardness of the water to removing the rigidity of the water contents. And next one, it is used in the laundering and cleaning. And next one, as a laboratory agent both in qualitative and quantitative analysis. So these are the some of the uses of sodium carbonate. So some more uses we are having the same compound, that is that compound we are going to use as a washing soda for cleaning cloths. In the refining of petroleum also we are using the same type of the compound. Refining of the petroleum means to purifying the petroleum components. And next one is in the fire extinguishers also we are using sodium carbonate. This is also important. And which type of the gases or which type of the sub compounds we are using in the fire extinguishers, we are using sodium carbonates. Okay, so these are the some uses of sodium carbonate. Next one, sodium bicarbonate. See the uses of sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate is used in pest control. It is used as a cleaners or cleanser. Next one, it is used in the cosmetics. It is used as a neutralizer. Next one, it is used as a domestic purposes. And the same compound it is used as a gastronomy. Okay, and some more uses of sodium bicarbonate are these sodium bicarbonates are used as a baking sodas. Baking soda, washing soda is sodium carbonate, baking soda is sodium bicarbonate, and it is also used in the fire extinguishers. Both sodium bicarbonate and sodium carbonates are used in fire extinguishers, and it also used in the antacids in medicines. Also to preparing the medicines also we are using sodium bicarbonates. And next one we are having some more salts like potassium nitrate. The potassium nitrate is used to make the gunpowder and fireworks and glasses, and it also used as a fertilizers in agriculture. Next one, potash alum. The potash alum is used to purify waters. What we are using in aquaguards, that is the potash alum. One type of the cylindrical pipes are already fitted in the aquaguards, right? So that type of the structures we are going to consider as a potash alums. With the help of that equipments we can purify the water, makes suspended particles in water settle down. And the potassium alum is also used as an antiseptic reagent, and it is also used for dyeing. So these are the some of the uses of salts. So this is all about the salt. In the next class we will discuss about the pH, the definition of pH, uses of pH, and some important contents about the pH. Till then, be happy, have a nice day. Thank you.